Next up at UFC Vegas 56, we have Ode Osbourne taking on Zarrukh Adashev. Ode Osbourne is 10-4 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He is alternating wins and losses. Zarrukh Adashev is 4-3. 4-3, and he's in the UFC, and this is not his first fight in the UFC either. He's 3-2 in his last 5, and he's coming off his first UFC win. Ode Osbourne is a southpaw striker who uses range well to keep people at the end of his punches. He has a ton of power and great finishing ability, especially at his new home here at 125 pounds. He was a 145-pounder, and this is his third fight down at 125. That is a big, listen, you go from heavyweight to light heavy by cutting 20 pounds, no big deal. Light heavy down, yeah, but 20 pounds from 145 to 125 is absolutely incredible. This is his third fight here. He has 3 wins in the UFC with takedowns in 2 of them, and he might need to use that in this matchup because Zarrukh Adashev is a kickboxer who made the transition to MMA. This week off really has my tongue all tied.
I love the green M&Ms.
Okay. You're probably allergic to peanuts, so you have to eat original flavor, and I feel sad for you.
I'm not allergic to nothing, except for women, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Success. Zarrukh Adashev is a kickboxer. He made his transition to MMA, but he hasn't really had a ton of success there just yet. When you watch his fights, it's really obvious he's a kickboxer because his ground game just is almost non-existent. But if he can keep fights standing, he's very dangerous because he also possesses some real power. And this should be a clear win for Ode because not only does Ode have grappling if he needs it, but he also has his own insane power. And we've seen Adashev have issues with power and volume. But the reality is that Ode did not look good in his last fight. He looked slow. His punches were all very looping. And, you know, a fast technical striker should be able to get inside of those looping punches and have success. I just don't think Adashev is that guy. I think Ode is too dangerous here. Ode is the pick. 4-3 Adashev, he just didn't become what they wanted him to be. And that kickboxing to MMA transition because it's not even like, last thing, look at that takedown defense, 100%. So if he was 4-3 and his losses were because he was taken down constantly and held down, and now they gave him a matchup against a striker, well, okay, that's great. That's very different. Let's look at it. He's getting outstruck too. I honestly don't know why he's been given this opportunity. You're making faces. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm actually. I know this is not going to be a popular pick. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm a Ode fan. I'm not an Ode hater. I picked Ode versus Manel Kape. He was destroying Manel Kape until he ate that knee. His last fight, as you mentioned, didn't look fantastic. He ended up the third round on his back. I think it was like the entire round. That was not a good look when you were trying to wrestle, and he was able to get the decision win because he was able to get the wrestling in the beginning. But, you know, Adashev, honestly, to me, might be one of the best 4-3 fighters I've ever seen in my life. He was a 16-3 kickboxer. He actually could have had a first-round sub versus Benoit, which is kind of what worries me on the Ode side, because Ode is a wrestler, but he's not like a really dominant wrestler that, I mean, I don't know if he's been caught yet, but he can get a little sloppy in his takedowns. You know, if the guillotine's there, we saw Adashev against Benoit snatch up the neck. If he had more time in the first round, he probably is able to get that submission win. If you're Ode, you got to avoid, and you kind of mentioned it, the path to victory for Ode in this fight is probably the wrestling, because you got to avoid the firefights, because Adashev will throw bombs, man. That guy will sit in the pocket and throw bombs, and he actually got dropped. I think he got clipped and dropped against Benoit maybe in the first or the second round, but he was able actually to show his scrambling ability after he got dropped. He got dropped. Benoit tried to grab him, take him to the ground. He's actually able to scramble pretty well back to his feet, even when he was hurt. So I like seeing that he looked like he knew what he was doing, even when his mind was a little bit clouded. I think Ode is going to have some issues in this fight, and if he's not able to get those takedowns as clean, I don't think he's going to be able to get those clean takedowns. We saw him kind of gas and get tired, end up on his back in the third round. Adashev, I know it's 4-3, and people are going to be all over me for this pick, but I'm going Adashev in this matchup. I didn't love what I saw from Ode, the way he finished his last fight. I don't know if the takedowns are going to be there, and if he gets into the firefight, we've seen him get knocked out before, and Adashev, he's got some real power in his hands, so it's not going to be popular. It might look stupid. I'm going Adashev.
Yeah, but I also I'm not saying Ode's path to victory is grappling. I'm saying he has grappling in his back pocket if he wants to shoot a takedown or mix it in, because I think he can outstrike Adashev. I really do. Adashev
At
is
distance,
also,
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, if it's a distance, because you saw that with versus Manel Kopp, right? He was able to in and out, boom, boom. He looked fantastic versus Manel Kopp in to strike me before he ate that knee. I don't think he's going to be able to avoid those firefights, man.
Well, and we've also seen Adashev have issues with power as well. So it's not like he's got an iron jaw and he can hang out and make the fight ugly, because he too can get put out. So yeah, I mean, listen, minus 180. I do think that's a bit extreme, because we watched him put out cold against Manel Kopp, a good striker, and that could happen here. I just don't think so. But yeah, I mean, the fight's probably closer than the odds, but I'm still on the Ode Osbourne side. $8,900 to $7,300. Man, that $8,900 is only worth it if you think he wins by knockout, which he might. $7,300, you gonna spend that on Zarrukh Adashev?
I just saw Josh Locks. Apparently, he just gave you $20. He says not for me, so
$20 from Josh Locks. No tip for Jacob. Angela, this is all for me. I will make sure. Don't worry. I got a nice spreadsheet detailing everything. I will make sure this is highlighted, and none of it goes to Jacob. Thank you very much, Josh Locks. And hey, Saturday's my birthday.
Somebody's got to help me pay my rent. Somebody's got to step up, and I mean, rent's due tomorrow, guys. Some rent's due tomorrow. That 20 could have helped.
Saturday is my birthday, so I'm keeping that as a birthday gift. And Jacob, you can crash on the couch if you want to for a little bit. Where were we? $7,300. Zarrukh Adashev. Thanks again, Josh. $7,300. You gonna spend that?
No. It's a flyer for Adashev. If Ode, I like Ode. If he wins, great. I like Ode, but I just think that he get a little bit. I didn't like that third round for him last fight. But no, I'm not gonna play Adashev.
Okay, I hear you. The strike line, 67 to 56. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching that strike line. This could be a super quick knockout or 3 rounds of swinging. I'm not touching that strike line at all. Do you have any opinion whatsoever?
It is dangerous. I agree.
Yeah, I'm not touching it. So don't worry about that strike line, but do worry about $50 in your pocket. WeWantPicks.com/bets. You sign up, you make a deposit. I send you $50 as a thank you.